Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, October the 29th, and here are your headlines for the day. If you're watching on YouTube, please drop a comment down below. Just let me know you're watching. If you're watching on Facebook, give me a after the fact. It's only live on YouTube. Then I post it on Facebook. But like it there. Let me know you're watching. That'd be awesome. All right, here we go. We got a bunch of M's today. Melissa, monkeys, Mamdani, money, and the Middle East. First up, Hurricane Melissa slammed into Jamaica as a catastrophic Category 5 storm. Of course, yesterday, a lot of us here were paying a lot of attention to that because we have a couple of church members who are missionaries there. They had Chuck and Brooke. They had about 40 people on their property in a concrete building. They came through okay, but they had a lot of damage to the property and to their water, their ability to get water. And so we are staying as on top of that as we can. Have told them whatever, as soon as you know what you need, let us know what you need. We'll do what we can to get you what you need. All right. So keep praying for them. Morning, brother Elder Grissom. Good morning. Next up, let's go from Melissa to monkeys. Did you hear? A truck carrying research monkeys from Tulane University flipped on a Mississippi highway, releasing several aggressive rhesus monkeys into the community near Heidelberg. Up around Laurel, Heidelberg. Deputies say all but one have been destroyed. Now, that was last night. I don't know if that last monkey's been caught yet or not, but I also saw where these monkeys are carriers of herpes and COVID. Boom, boom. Now, they say they're not contagious. Dude, you can't tell me the monkey's carrying herpes and COVID and then say, but no worries. Y'all lie. You believe that? Listen, if you live up in Jones County, my son lives up in Ellisville. I texted him and said, hey, son, don't be playing with any monkeys. Now, I just know, these South Mississippi boys, they see a monkey, they're going to have to play with the monkey. Don't play with the monkey. Let's go from monkeys to Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani teared up as he recalled his aunt allegedly being too scared to wear a hijab. I should have looked up how to say hijab before I did this. I'll pay for it now. Mamdani, he's the guy running for New York mayor, Mayor Mamdani. Anyway, he teared up because his aunt, after 9/11, his aunt was scared to wear a hijab on the subway in New York after 9/11. Well, records show that his aunt was working in Tanzania, not Tunisia, Tanzania, from 2000 to 2003. And we have photos of her in the public in Tanzania. And she's never wearing a hijab, whatever. Go on. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about the government shutdown. Senate Democrats blocked a bill to reopen the government for the 13th time. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy told Fox News air traffic controllers will not get full paychecks starting yesterday, as Democrats prolong the shutdown. The USDA is warning that SNAP funds, food stamps, will run dry starting November 1st, potentially cutting off benefits for 42 million Americans if the government shutdown does not end. Well, it hasn't ended. Did you see? I should have looked this back up. This is a smooth run operation right here. There's like this movement to run in Walmart and just steal stuff, just leave with buggies on a certain day. We'll see how it plays out. I'm telling you, what I think that's is it Saturday when they're planning on doing this, or is it a few days? Is it next week? I can't remember. Look it up. And you just be careful that day. Ladies, might not want to go to the store by yourself. Somebody might knock you over the head for your groceries. Just some crazy stuff. All right, now to the Middle East. Well, I haven't had much to say about the Middle East here last few days, but we do now. Let me just go through this kind of the best order I could put it in over the last 24 hours. Hamas opens fire on Israeli troops in Rafah, violating the ceasefire, according to an Israeli military official. Now, I want to read something here to you here, posted by Amir Sarfati, an Israeli Christian. He said, to avoid jeopardizing the American brokered deal with Hamas in Gaza, both the IDF, that's like the Israeli army, military, and the Israeli government are deceiving the Israeli public and concealing multiple incidents in which Hamas has attacked IDF positions and combat engineering vehicles in recent days. So Hamas has been violating the ceasefire, all kinds of ways. Today we paid the price, Amir said. Sadly, several soldiers were wounded by an RPG. One or more may have been killed. Moving on, next headline, Prime Minister Netanyahu ordered immediate and powerful strikes in Gaza, with an Israeli official saying that Hamas broke the ceasefire by firing on IDF soldiers in Rafah. Vice President Vance said this, despite what happened today, the ceasefire in Gaza will continue. They're firing it at each other, but the ceasefire will continue. There's a delusion going on. Something weird's going on here. Let me read on. Something weird's going on. Another post from Amir Sarfati. Both the U.S. and Israeli governments are lying to their people. There is no ceasefire. Hamas is defying all the deadlines given to it by the U.S. administration. This is one big scam. Donald Trump had this to say. He posted, we have a very strong peace. He capitalized peace in the Middle East. And I believe it has a good chance of being everlasting. He capitalized everlasting. This is weird. He keeps using the word everlasting. Guys, there will be no everlasting peace until Jesus comes back. There'll be 1,000-year-long peace when Jesus comes back. Even that won't be everlasting. It'll be over in 1,000 years when Satan is released from the bottomless pit. And then we'll go into the eternal state of things, new heavens, new earth. Donald Trump is not going to create an everlasting peace in the Middle East. It's just weird that he thinks this way, and he so desperately wants to create peace all over the world. And he's hung up on this everlasting thing. It is strange. I don't know why the Christians around him, well, I do know why. But, he ought to have some Christians around him who are telling him, look, President, do what you can to be a friend to Israel. But you're not going to be the creator of everlasting peace. Only the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ, will do that. This is weird. But he said Hamas is going to have to start returning the bodies of the deceased hostages. When? They've been told that, including 2 Americans quickly, or the other countries involved in this great peace, capitalized again. What does he capitalize? Peace, everlasting, great peace will take action. The other countries involved will take action, not Israel. Interesting. He said some of the bodies are hard to reach. Others they can return now. For some reason, they're not. Perhaps it has to do with their disarming. But when I said both sides would be treated fairly, that only applies if they comply with their obligations. Well, they haven't. They haven't. Let's see what they do over the next 48 hours. We've heard that before. I am watching this very closely. Next headline, 2 more. The strikes in Gaza continued throughout the night, leaving over 60 dead and hundreds wounded on the Palestinian side. But what did Vance say? The ceasefire will continue. That's the very definition of not a ceasefire. The ceasefire has ceased, if it ever went into effect. There's this desperation in the Trump administration to create peace. And if I can't create peace, I want to create the illusion of peace. This is odd. Anthony, don't you talk bad about it. I'm just telling you the truth. This is odd. Finally, Donald Trump said Hamas hit an Israeli soldier and Israel fired back. They need to fire back. This will not endanger the ceasefire. Hamas needs to behave well. If they do not behave well, they will be destroyed, and they understand that. Well, apparently they don't. That's about how easily the ceasefire has been broken. Just that easy. Amen, brother. Harold, when they say peace and safety. Yep. When they say peace and safety. Yep, brother, I hear you. Y'all walk with Jesus today. I hope to see you at church tonight. Gonna have a good time. Nice, cool weather outside. God bless.